Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is the same as yesterday and the day before. Cinnamon blueberry crumble decaf. I have like 3 of those left. And I used to always drink decaf hazelnut by Folgers. But I can't find that in Mark's anymore, so I'm sure I could order it online, but it would probably cost me 3 times as much. So, ooh, look at all that steam coming from the coffee. So, we had snow today again. It's going to be a high of 36, but then tomorrow it's going to warm back up into the 50s and then 60s the rest of the week. So, I guess it's going to do what it's going to do. And that's that. So, I need to shred some papers. I have so many papers now. I used to be really good about that. I would only keep bills for 3 months and then shred them. But for some reason I stopped doing that and I just kept shoving them into the little cubby. So I really need to get in there and start shredding some papers. I like to put the shredded paper in my composter outside because that makes nice loose compost after a while. So I haven't been using my composter much. I've been using the one inside, but that doesn't really make compost. It just dries everything and chops it up, but it is good to add to the soil to loosen it up and as nutrients. So that's what I've been using. I tried bokashi, which I felt was pretty messy. So I don't do that anymore. I've tried all different kinds of composting. But I found that just putting it in my outside composter is easy in the summer and when there isn't snow on the ground. Otherwise, I just use the indoor composter. And I have an I Do. That's the brand name. And it was much cheaper than the, I forget what the name brand one is, but the I Do is way cheaper. So cheers, Mr. Owl is joining us this morning for delicious coffee. And I still like my chocolate caramel creamer the best. So anyway, I think that's what my project for the day will be. I'll just be shredding papers. I looked under my bed this morning, and it's been a while since I cleaned under there. Holy moly. Lots of dust bunnies living under there. So that'll be a project. I don't quite know how to get under there. I can't move the bed because the bed's on carpet and it has legs and there's no way I can move it. And the mattress is really heavy, so I can't take the mattress off the bed to clean under there. But sooner or later I'm going to need a new mattress because it's been on there for a long time, but it's so comfortable. So anyway, that's a project for another day too. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee now, and then I will meet you at the budget book. All right, back at the budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money. I stayed home in my nice little warm house and did a little bit of purging, a little bit of organizing. I found a picture of a Christmas tree that I had decorated years ago when I lived in my old house. And it was like, boy, that is an ugly tree. I don't know what I was thinking. I had decorated it all in white, which sounds really nice. I mean, you know, you could make it look like snow or whatever, but That was just not an attractive tree, but for some reason I took a picture of it. I guess I thought it was at the time. So it's the same way when you look back at your hairdos and your fashion and all that. You know, for the times you look great, but then down the road when the trends change or whatever, it's like, oh, what was I thinking? So anyway, it was fun looking through all those old photographs yesterday. And today I'm going to shred my old bills. And I need to organize my paperwork. I used to be really good about it. I did it every year. I'd go through the old insurance stuff and the old bills, and I really was on top of it. I was way more on top of things when I worked. I really was. But then again, in all fairness, I was physically much more able to do things too. Now with this fibromyalgia and arthritis and all these gut issues going on, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, you know, it's gotten much more difficult. And when you have problems as you get older, it really saps your energy. Sometimes, you know, just dealing with chronic pain issues just really knocks the wind out of you. And I just take way too many breaks now, but it's necessary. So I might as well just go with it. You know, it's part of the process, I guess. And I know I should exercise, but, you know, in all honesty, it's painful. And people tend to shy away from things that are painful. At least most people do. And I know you got to work through it, you know, no pain, no gain, and all that hip stuff. But I deal with that stuff enough. I don't want to deal with it even more. So, anyway, that's what I think. I don't know. Do you guys exercise? I know the Arthritis Foundation has exercises that are safe for people with arthritis. I don't know. I should check that out. But walking is good. I do still like to walk. And I can tell I'm not in good shape because I can't walk nearly as far as I used to. And as far as walking fast, forget about it. That's not happening. But when the weather warms up, I do want to get out there again because I enjoy walking in my neighborhood. It's nice and peaceful for the most part, and I used to love to walk my little dog Allie. She'd go with me, but I can't walk 3 dogs. There's no way, especially if one of them decided to, you know, another dog and take off after another dog. They'd be dragging me right down the road. So anyway, that's that. And I know some people, oh, you should hire a dog walker and all that, but that costs a lot of money, which I don't have. So they're well taken care of. They can run around in the yard. The yard is fenced, and they do. They run around back there and they play. So that's just the way it is. So anyway, not many major bills coming up except for the windows that I'm going to have put in this month. And we're creeping up on the middle of the month, so I imagine I'll be hearing from Jeff is his name, soon. He said the middle to the end of March. So I'll be glad when I get that over with. And that way it gives me an incentive to get my bedroom organized. I have a couple piles up there of bedding that I don't quite know what to do with. Should I keep it? Should I get rid of it? I'm leaning towards getting rid of it. There's always people that can use bedding and blankets. And but most of it I did use within the past couple years, but I just have too much of it. So some of it needs to go. So that'll be a project for a day before they come to do the windows. And I hope it's a nice warm day, because obviously they're going to have the windows out and it might get pretty cold. So anyway, that's what's going on here at my homestead. Always lots of things to do, lots of activities, lots of purging and organizing going on. Sometimes I feel like it's a never-ending process, and it sort of is. But I try not to bring much into the house anymore. I try to have more going out than coming in. But on the other hand, with all the craziness going on in the world, you don't want to over-purge either. You know, I mean, just because you haven't used a butane stove ever or in a long time doesn't mean you won't use it. So things like that I keep. Anything that might be good for a grid down situation, even clothes, you know, layering a lot of clothes is a good idea. So you don't want to get rid of all your sweaters, and that's another thing with the blankets. You know, I don't want to get rid of so many that I don't have any extra in case there's a grid down situation where we need to keep warm. And I also have to think about keeping my dogs warm. It's just not me and my grandson, it's my dogs too. So I heard that having a small tent and putting it up in your room, whatever room you're going to be in to try and stay warm, is a good idea. I don't have sleeping bags anymore. I used to have a sleeping bag, but I think I left that at my old house. I think that was in the attic there, and I think I forgot to clean out the attic because my significant other still lived there, and a lot of stuff I just left. You know, I didn't want to take everything, and he wanted the stuff, so I just left a lot of stuff there. So anyway, that's what's going on here in my little homestead. I guess I could call it a homestead. I have a garden. I have animals. They aren't farm animals, but I have animals. And I don't have chickens. I can't have chickens here. Besides that, my dogs would go crazy. So anyway, but I do get my chicken eggs from my daughter, because she has chickens, and my oldest son also has some chickens. So that's always nice. So I'm just going to call it my little condo homestead. Well, it's not a condo. It's an attached cluster. So I'm going to call it, well, that doesn't sound very, what do I want to say? No. Townhouse, that's what it is. My townhouse homestead. There we go. That's what I'm going to call it. My townhouse homestead. All right. Well, I'll be back. Oh, yuck. It snowed again. Well, it's not stopping the birds. Okay, hopefully this will be the last of it. Well, good morning. I'm having actually tea. I'm saving my coffee that I made this morning for my breakfast. I'll just heat it up in the microwave, and I'm going to see if maybe having a tea first will improve my stomach situation. I wanted to talk a little bit about health care today. Oops, sorry. There we go. Well, you know, I've been dealing with this stomach issue for a while now, and it's been chronic for years, probably since my early 40s this started, but I always had a really sensitive stomach. My mom said when I was a baby I was always throwing up. So, anyway, I guess things haven't changed that much. But have you noticed how hard it is to get into with your healthcare provider lately? It's gotten really bad. My GI doctor, who I've been going to for years, he didn't even have an opening till April 20th. And it's like, seriously? I mean, you could be dead by that time. Not that this is an emergency situation, but I'm just saying, by the time you can get in there to talk to anybody. And this is the way his office works now. You have to call there. You can never talk to the doctor, ever. Forget about that. You call there and you tell them your problem, and it's always on a recording. So, and then you have to wait for them to call back. And it always takes them 2 days to call back. And of course, everything on there now is, well, if you're having an emergency, go to the emergency room, blah, blah, blah. Then, if you go to the emergency room, you're sitting there literally for hours waiting to be seen, because there's beds in the hall, there's beds all over the place. And this is getting to be the norm rather than the exception to the rule. And I mean, how do I know this? Because I've dealt with taking my mom to the ER. So, I mean, even if they squad you in, unless you're having heart attack symptoms or something like that, you still sit there for hours. So, anyway, they call you back eventually, and if you miss the phone call, then you're playing phone tag with these people. So it's back and forth. It's just terrible. Our healthcare system used to be the best, primo in the world, and it has turned literally to, excuse my French, shit. But anyway, I don't know, are you guys having those issues too? And I know Germany has had socialized medicine for a very long time. Canada has socialized medicine. And I guess it's the same type of situation there. So we are definitely headed in that direction, which is a real shame. And our citizens here in the States should always be a primary, our veterans, all those people should come first. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. There's really not much to be done. Oh, but you can have a virtual visit. I don't know how that works. I haven't done that yet. But, I told them when they called me back and said, oh, okay. Well, it wasn't even the nurse initially. It was just the person that makes the appointments. So I opted for a nurse practitioner because she had an appointment like a couple weeks earlier, but even with her it was way into April, and he has 2 nurse practitioners. So finally I made the appointment, and then finally the nurse calls me back, and this was Friday, and I said, well, can I have some medication? I said, I can't wait until the end of next month. Oh, okay, well, I'll give this information to the doctor and then I'll call you back. Well, that was Friday, and she never called back, so I'm sure she'll be calling me on Monday. But it's so frustrating. You try to do the right thing, you try and get your ducks in a row. You try and get your screenings done, which, by the way, is very important. And, yeah, I don't know. So, all right, enough about that. So, when I was looking through my photos yesterday, I switched really fast. Did you notice the gears I switched really fast here? So, I came across this picture. And this was my my great-grandfather's dog. Isn't she beautiful? Her name was Yanka, and he bred German Shepherds, but she is just absolutely beautiful and perfect. So the reason I bring that up is because my daughter has a Shepherd now, and she just loves Shepherds now. She has a Cane Corso. That's our Mackie Moo Man, and he is the sweetest the big guy. He's a big guy, not little guy. And then she has Nova, who's a Shepherd. So she likes Shepherds so much, she wants to try and breed Shepherds. And they have the room there. They have 7 acres. So, they have the property. So anyway, she was very interested in seeing the photo of her great-great-grandfather's dog. So anyway, I know a lot of people think, oh, you should go to the shelter and adopt, and I agree, but I mean, people still breed dogs. There are certain breeds that need to be maintained, so there's always going to be breeders, but you just don't want to have these puppy mill breeders. Those people are just awful people. And actually, we have a lot of puppy mills here in Ohio. And the greatest people, the people that are the most offensive with that, believe it or not, are the Amish. They're noted for having puppy mills. So, but my daughter would never ever, she would probably get one dog and breed her a couple times, and then that would be that. So anyway, I think I'm going to cook some eggs. I have an egg cooker. It's a Cuisinart, and I've had it for years, and you can cook up to, I think, 7 eggs in it, and I use it all the time. I do like my small appliances. I think, first of all, they save on electricity, and they're just fun to use. So, but my egg cooker, I use it all the time, and if it ever broke, I would definitely get another egg cooker. I got my little granddaughter, since my daughter has chickens, I got my little granddaughter an egg cooker too. It was one of those little dash ones, and she liked it. So I don't know if she's still using it or not. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the health care and ask you guys if you have the same problem getting appointments with your doctor. I mean, it's really ridiculous. So I guess we're in charge of our own health care. I don't know, people that don't have a medical background, I don't know what they do, or old people. I'm an older person, but I'm talking about old people that have no idea how to use a computer. Everything is, okay, check your my chart or this or that. They send you messages and that. But, and then you can't get a hold of anybody, a person on the phone. So, I don't know. I guess we just have to take over our own everything, health care, our own stockpile, so that we don't run out of food. Everything is falling into our own hands, which I guess it's in a way going back to the old ways, because people in the old days, they didn't have all this stuff going on either. They had one doctor in the village. And I remember when the doctor still used to make house calls. I remember I was sick as a little girl, and I was delirious. And I still remember this. I still remember laying in my bed, and I was having a hallucination, and it was all these ABC books marching towards me, and I was just petrified. How I came up with that, I have no clue. But it did make an impression on me. I still remember that. And the doctor came to the house and did whatever it was he did. But the things you remember. Oh well, all right, I'm going to go cook my eggs and think about having some breakfast. I love this little egg cooker. It comes with this cup, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but it tells you precisely how much water to put in there to get soft, medium, or hard-boiled eggs. It's got a little piercer on the bottom. And it actually came with other things that you can make other types of eggs with. But I love this little egg cooker. And it's a Cuisinart, and I've had it for many, many years. And aren't these beautiful eggs? The one in the middle is from an Easter egg or chicken. Absolutely beautiful. And then all you do is add the top, turn it on, and it'll cook your eggs. So definitely worth investing in an egg cooker. I sure wish I had a bigger shredder. I just shredded a whole pile of papers, probably as much as this, and I still have this to go. So that's what I'm doing today, trying to get organized, trying to get rid of stuff. Here is my composter. It actually only makes fertilizer, not compost. And I have some in there that I have to pour into a bucket. Would you like to eat that? No? You wouldn't like to eat that? That's good. All right, let's close it back up. Oh my gosh, I never, ever want to do this again. I never want so many bills. And this is actually only billed since 2020. So 3 years worth of bills that I shredded, and I don't get nearly as many bills now. In fact, I just get the basics. So yay for that. This was my punishment for overspending. All right. Well, here is the last of it. I saved the best for last. Those are all my car payments that I can shred now. Yay! And I shredded so many papers. I overheated my little shredder, but it's working okay again now. So I'm going to shred that up and wait till you see this. Look at that. That's all what I shredded today. Oh, I'm so glad that's done. So I shredded all my bills. I don't want to be reminded of all the money I owed and all the money I paid, because now that I'm debt-free, I want to keep it that way. And yep, that's all shredded. I'll probably end up putting all this in the composter, and that's a good way to get rid of your personal papers. Shred them up and then compost them. So let me show you my nice empty little cubby. So there it is, no more bills. I can start fresh. Oh, I'm so glad that's done. It wasn't hard work, but it took a long time. It took me a couple hours to shred all that up, especially since I had to give the shredder a break. But what's done is done. So now I'll keep a couple months of bills in here, and then I'll shred them, just to make sure that they're paid. All right, another project done for the day. Well, time for a coffee break. Cheers. I have a coffee and a tea. Well, somehow I found shredding all those papers oddly satisfying. At first I thought, I'm going to keep some of the bills so I can compare last year to this year. And then I thought, nope, I'm not doing that because it's just going to make me mad when I see how much the prices have gone up. So I shredded everything, and that's the nice thing about being debt-free. You don't have to monitor all that stuff. The only thing you have to monitor is to make sure nobody's scamming your accounts. Lots of that going on nowadays. So, all right, that was my big project for the day, and yep, tomorrow I'll think of something else that needs to be taken care of. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.